Look, eSafety covers a range of safety strategies or breaches of safety for our electronic devices.
So much like we protect our physical safety, such as with locks on our houses, locks on our cars, eSafety is about protecting our digital selves.
eSafety is trying to stay safe on the internet by protecting ourselves from computer crime. It is the act of maximising a user's awareness of personal safety and risk to personal information and property associated with using the internet.
So it's using those devices or electronic means to be able to perpetrate domestic violence.
So technology-facilitated abuse can include harassing, threatening or abusive text messages, phone calls, emails. It can also include online bullying, and it can be image-based abuse where somebody shares or threatens to share intimate images of you.
It can be complete account takeovers. It can be the creation of fake social media accounts which are used to harass you or post negative information about you online. And it can also be image-based abuse or tracking you using your device.
So hacking is where another party will breach the security of your electronic devices.
Simply put, hacking is the unauthorised access to or control over a computer network security systems for some illicit purpose.
So hacking is identifying weaknesses in computer systems. So there can be good hacking and bad hacking. So good hacking, sometimes called ethical hacking, is the authorised identification of security breaches so that they can be addressed. Bad hacking, however, can be extremely detrimental. So this is in an effort to gain information, gain data, and can result in things like identity theft, theft of money. It can be extremely distressing to somebody who is a victim of hacking, and it can take a long time to rectify.
So any smart device certainly needs protection. So things like your mobile phone, computer, Fitbits, anything that may use Wi-Fi, so your home security, cameras, GPS services, those sorts of things.
Some of the apps that need to be protected are our social media apps such as Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, our personal banking apps, our email accounts and our accounts with organisations such as the ATO, Medicare and Centrelink.
So essentially all our electronic devices need to be protected. So this includes mobile phones, iPads, laptops, computers, and it's also about protecting our digital apps. So very importantly, our email accounts, because we often use our emails to gain access to a lot of other apps, about protecting our social media accounts, and things like banking and the Australian Taxation Office.
So mobile spyware is apps or tracking devices that are put onto a person's mobile without them knowing. So it may be something that looks fairly harmless, like Find My Phone, but can be used as a way of finding someone, using that information to gain control over the victim, survivor. It might be using the phone to listen in on conversations, to divert emails, to find where the person is located. So it's a range of different, the function of it is a little bit different. Oftentimes we don't know that spyware is on the phone. They will often not have an app icon that comes up on the phone, so it's hard to detect.
Mobile spyware is software that can be downloaded onto a device that allows an individual to remotely monitor the activities on that device. The activities that they can monitor include our call history, our contacts, emails that have been downloaded, images that have been downloaded, or our internet browser history.
So mobile spyware is a digital app that's downloaded onto a user's phone without their knowledge. So it's used to perhaps monitor telephone calls, monitor text messages. It can be used to track a person's whereabouts without their knowledge, and it can be used to perpetrate abuse.
So it may be unusual activity on your phone. It might be something like using your battery use is going up and apps are closed, what you know are closed. It might be pop-ups that are occurring, unusual activity on your phone. It might be messages that are sent that you didn't send, or friends having information provided to them that looks like it's come from you.
It can be really difficult to tell if your device has been compromised because of the nature of the spyware. So some of the things to look out for is sluggish performance on your phone. So if you're finding that the battery is running down very quickly, if there's activity on your phone that you're not quite sure of, if there is any unauthorised use of emails, unauthorised text messages, and if you are noticing that somebody has information about your whereabouts and your activity that you're suspicious of.
It is difficult to tell if your device has been compromised because software, when it is downloaded, operates in stealth mode and makes it impossible to detect. So if you have any concerns that this may have happened, it is best to ask for a forensic examination, which is normally conducted by the police. If this is not possible, ask yourself the following questions. Has someone had physical access to my device? Does someone know more than they should? Or is there any sort of unusual activity on my device?
So look, the first and most simple way is turning off your location services on your phone. It's not using public Wi-Fi. It might be strengthening all of your privacy settings on your phone. It may even be things like closing down or putting to sleep some of your social media. So not using your social media apps that can't then be breached through a third party to find out where you are, what's happening for you and your family.
If you suspect anything and you want to remove the spyware, you can reset the phone by using its factory settings. But in doing that, don't use the same password, install antiviral software, secure your wireless internet connection, strengthen your privacy settings, sign out of emails and social media accounts. Do not use saved passwords and do not open suspicious links.
So making sure that we've got appropriate security on our device, which could include passcodes, using two-factor authentication, making sure that we've got privacy settings up to date, which might include limiting who can see your social media accounts and limiting who can post things without your consent. It may be that if you are concerned about somebody that you know or somebody that you live with, making sure that you log out of apps, you don't just shut down the browser, and that you don't use saved passwords to access accounts. Having these things in place might mean that somebody that you live with, somebody that you know, can easily access your online accounts.
So looking for those unusual activities, it may also be something worthwhile to see who has ownership of your accounts, where that is. Oftentimes perpetrators will use saved passwords to gain access to those accounts, Google accounts, Telstra accounts, or phone service accounts, those sorts of things. So making sure that you have ownership of those accounts is really important, and you can check with your phone provider. If there are any issues, you can certainly check with things like Google Safety, their safety centre. The most important way is not providing your personal information to anyone that you haven't initiated that contact with. So it may be someone scamming you over the phone for banking details. It may be emails that say you've got an inheritance, you haven't. So don't provide any personal details to anyone unless you can verify who that is. So that may be ringing them back, checking with your bank or financial service that they're requesting information. It may be just hanging up. It may be not clicking on links for emails that you're not certain where they come from, and reporting those security scams to police is really important.
So ensuring that you're not accessing sensitive information such as your financial information when you're using public Wi-Fi, making sure that location services are disabled, being aware of scammers, so making sure that you're not clicking on links from emails that you're not sure of the source, and if somebody calls you unsolicited requesting any information such as banking information, that you don't provide that.
Don't access personal or financial data using public Wi-Fi. For all online platforms and apps, avoid revealing personal information and details. Have strong passwords. Check settings to keep them private. Disabled location services. Enable Bluetooth only when needed. Avoid hashtagging and avoid posting content that might put you or your family at risk.
So if you have experienced technology facilitated abuse, what may also be a part of that is perpetrators threatening to or sharing personal information about you. So that may include images. Those things are illegal, and there's legislation there to protect victim survivors. So if you feel that there are threats made against you in this regard, you must contact police, and they can provide those services to identify where that's come from, including forensically looking at your phone. It may also be contacting fair trading if there are scams that you are concerned about or feel that you may have had been breached in some way, and certainly talking to your bank if you feel that there's been activity around your account that you haven't authorised.
If you believe that you are a victim of technology-facilitated abuse or hacking, you can contact the police. You can report to social media services security systems. You can report image-based abuse to eSafety, or you can take legal action as it is against the law.
So number one, you can report to police. So technology-facilitated abuse is a crime, and you can report this information to police. If you are being harassed or abused online, you can block somebody's number so they cannot access you. But if it is ongoing abuse, you can take screenshots, make sure you're collecting the information to provide that to police, because that is a form of domestic violence.